Stop. I'm about to tell you something, the kind of thing that might make you want to close this video right now. But don't. Because if these words are touching something in you, then this video was recorded exactly for you. I'm going to talk about a secret everyone knows but almost no one dares to say out loud. Seeing too much, feeling too much, understanding too much. These aren't always gifts. Most of the time, they're poisons that eat you from the inside. They start out sweet, intoxicating, but with every sip, you lose a little more of yourself. At the end of this video, I'll give you 5 steps that can turn this curse into a gift. But first, I need to show you the dark side of this path. Are you ready? Then let's begin. You know those people. When they walk into a room, the air changes. It's like the walls lean in and whisper to them. They can see the invisible cables stretched between two people, the wounds hiding behind smiles, the shards of a silent scream buried inside laughter, the trembling edges of a fake happiness mask. The world calls this empathy, emotional intelligence, spiritual sensitivity, as if it's some sacred gift we should hold on to and protect. But let me be honest with you, this so-called gift often becomes the heaviest chain a person can wear. I'm not saying this to frighten you, I'm just opening a door no one likes to touch. Now quietly ask yourself, could you be one of the ones who carries this weight? Most people move through life like they're at a festival. They stroll through the park of existence, never diving too deep into anything. They laugh, talk, dance. They play their part on the big, bright stage. But you're that one person in the crowd who notices the smallest hesitation in someone's eyes, the faintest crack in a voice. You see the uncertainty in a bride's gaze, hear the buried "am I sure?" in the groom's breath. You feel the jealousy sitting quietly at the next table, long before they do. And in that moment, it happens. The cheerful background music suddenly turns into a funeral march. The laughter around you becomes a strange echo of sorrow. The stage lights turn cold and harsh, revealing reality with no filter. That's where the danger begins. Because once you've looked behind the curtain, you can never go back to that innocent seat in the audience. You now know the trick. You can tell which line is a lie, which laugh is a defense mechanism, which "I'm fine" is silently screaming "I'm not." And the worst part? No matter how hard you try to ignore it, your brain won't unsee it. Consciousness becomes a cursed telescope, bringing distant pain close, magnifying tiny doubts, turning a single glance into pages of meaning. You're no longer just a spectator, and not really an actor either. You're both inside and outside the play, as if you've been exiled to an invisible balcony. Let me tell you a scene from my own story. Years ago, I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in a long time. On the surface, everything was perfect. He smiled, clapped my shoulder, said, "You look amazing." But this is where the gift kicks in. I saw the way his shoulders had collapsed. I heard that microscopic crack in his voice. I read the lines around his eyes, not just as age, but as the weight of countless nights spent suffering in silence. And suddenly a crossroads appears in front of you. Do you tell the truth and shatter the scene, or do you choose to play your part and stay in the script? I chose the second. "You look great too," I said, and then something strange happened. He knew I was lying. I knew he was lying. It was like two actors realizing at the same moment that their roles are fake. But instead of winking at each other, something inside both of us quietly broke. That day I felt something die in me, maybe a piece of innocence. Maybe the last fragment of "I can still trust the world." These tiny sacrifices add up, a piece today, a piece tomorrow, until one day you realize there's almost nothing left of you to trade. Sometimes I imagine society as one gigantic theater. Everyone's in costume, lines memorized, lights blazing. The loving father, the successful businesswoman, the always cheerful friend. All familiar roles, all well-practiced masks. And you're the one standing backstage, watching the whole thing with naked eyes. You see the dark corners the lights can't reach. You see the pale face under the bright makeup. You feel how empty some of those lines are, how many of those emotions are borrowed. And one day, you can't hold it back. You whisper, "This isn't real, this is a play." Guess what happens? The actors turn and glare at you. There's panic in their eyes. The audience silently demands your silence. The director raises an eyebrow, because nobody, absolutely nobody, likes the show to be disrupted. The more you point to the truth, the more aggressively they push you off the stage. And that's the first real loss: belonging. You're no longer fully on stage, nor fully in the audience. You're somewhere in between. You walk around like a visible ghost. Eventually, people start asking you the same questions. Why are you so serious? Why do you have to think so deeply about everything? Can't you just relax for once? Here's the brutal irony. Their relaxation is built on top of your discomfort. What feels normal to them feels unbearable to you. Their truth is illusion in your eyes. If those sentences hit something in you, keep watching, because we haven't reached the most important part yet. There was a man I used to know, let's call him Michael. Michael had a strange ability. He could read people's aura, not in some mystical fantasy sense. It was much simpler and much heavier. He could just see, from the weight in someone's walk, he could tell the disappointment they carried from last week. From the way a couple looked at each other, he could guess how close their marriage was to collapsing. From the tiniest vibration in someone's tone, he could feel the shadow of a lie. Pain, exhaustion, quiet hopelessness. He recognized them like a scent. So where is Michael now? Living up in the mountains with goats? Yes, really. The last time we spoke, he said, "I'm tired of carrying people's pain. I'm tired of seeing everyone's mask. Sometimes I wish I were blind." And that's where the second loss appears, your peace. Eyes that see too much don't just close. Ears that hear too deeply don't just switch off. A heart that feels everything can't simply rest. At night, when you lie down, all the emotions you picked up during the day lie down with you. The neighbor's hesitation, your boss's anxiety, the old woman's silent anger at the market. All of them come to visit, and whether you want them or not, you host them. But wait, the story doesn't end there. At some point, after feeling so much, seeing so many masks, carrying so many echoes, your own emotions start dissolving into the crowd. You wake up one morning and you're not sure if the heaviness you feel actually belongs to you. Maybe it's the sadness of that woman in the elevator from yesterday. Maybe it's the anger from the arguing couple next door. And you ask, is this feeling even mine? That's where the third loss appears, yourself. Your boundaries begin to blur. Your sense of me gets foggy. Where you end and others begin becomes almost impossible to tell. This isn't poetry. It's a very real identity erosion that people with extreme empathy often go through. Feeling everyone so intensely usually means you can't hear yourself anymore. The whispers of the crowd drown out your own inner voice. And now the fourth danger, the Messiah complex. Yes, it sounds dramatic, but when you see this much and feel this deeply, your mind starts playing tricks on you. At some point a thought sneaks in. If they can't see, then I must be the one to wake them up. That sentence is like a tumor in the soul. It grows slowly, silently. You don't notice it until you're already sick with it. Last year, a young woman came to see me. Let's call her Rebecca. There was a fire in her eyes. "I have to wake people up," she said. "I need to tear down their masks, save them from their fake happiness." It was as if she believed the universe had given her a special mission. 6 months later, she came back. I almost didn't recognize her. The light in her eyes was gone. Her hands trembled, her voice cracked. "No one understands," she said. "I'm trying to help, and they hate me for it." Here's the harsh, unavoidable truth. People don't want to be woken up. Most people choose to stay asleep, because reality hurts, because seeing clearly demands responsibility, and most people don't want that weight. When you burst into their warm, safe sleep and flip on the light, they don't thank you. On the contrary, they resent you for disturbing their peace. And here's what Rebecca didn't see. She herself had fallen into a lie. I'm different. I'm above them. That lie. That sweet, seductive lie that we rarely admit even to ourselves. Listen carefully. You are not superior. You just see differently. That doesn't make you better or worse. Just different. People rejecting truth is not a personal attack on you. It's a survival mechanism. Waking up is like stepping out of a warm bed onto freezing stone with bare feet. Comfort, security, and numbness, all gone. So when you turn on the light in someone's darkness, they don't feel grateful, they feel attacked. They shout at you because their eyes hurt, and you're the nearest target. The more they reject you, the easier it is to believe, I must be special, I must be chosen. That's the most poisonous root of the Messiah complex. But eventually, exhaustion comes, and that exhaustion whispers, every soul has its own timing. Some will never wake up in this lifetime. Some will wake without ever needing a single word from you. Your job is not to bang on their doors. Your job is simply to keep your own light on. Those who are ready will find it. Those who aren't, let them stay in the shade. Now I'll tell you something crucial. Everything you see in others is an echo of something within you. If you notice their anger so sharply, it's because you've been running from your own. If you feel their fear from across the room, it's because you haven't fully faced your own yet. The shadows you see out there are projections of the darkness inside. The reason you see everyone so clearly is often that you've neglected to truly see yourself. Real transformation begins the moment you stop judging others and turn your gaze inward. No one has ever freed themselves by changing others, only by facing themselves. Let me share a story from an old Zen master. His students would come, full of frustration. Master, people are so ignorant, we're trying to enlighten them, but they don't understand. The master would smile and say, the river doesn't shout at the stone, move. When the stone is ready, the river will carry it away by itself. That's wisdom, not forcing someone else's awakening, but allowing it. True love doesn't try to change. True love accepts as is. Last month, I saw an old acquaintance. Let's call her Sarah. She was one of the seers, like you. For a while, she burned herself out trying to save everyone. But this time, she was different. There was still depth in her eyes, still a trace of weariness. But now there was something else. Peace. Acceptance. What happened? I asked. She smiled. I didn't stop seeing, she said. I just stopped fighting what I saw. And that's where the miracle began. People started coming back to her, but it was different now. She wasn't tearing off masks anymore. She wasn't forcing anyone awake. She simply allowed, and that quiet permission opened doors inside people that pressure never could, because the human soul shuts down under force and opens in the presence of acceptance. Now the 5 steps I promised you. Step 1, learn to protect yourself. By protection, I don't mean building walls or shutting off your empathy. You're like a radio receiver. You can pick up every frequency, but that doesn't mean you should tune into all of them. A receiver can hear everything, yet it chooses one station. When you wake up, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Close your eyes and say inwardly, today, I only carry what belongs to me. I don't take on other people's emotions. It seems simple, but it sends a deep message to your subconscious. I am not a sponge. Step 2, make solitude your ally. I'm not talking about running away from people. I'm talking about conscious solitude. Give yourself 1 hour a day. That belongs only to you. No phone, no music, no book, just you. In that silence, things will start to move. Weights you've been carrying for days will rise to the surface. Sometimes your eyes will fill. Sometimes your throat will tighten. Let it. Every trapped emotion needs a voice. Then ask yourself a single question. Is this really mine? Very often, the answer will be a quiet no, and you can tell that feeling. Thank you, but you're not mine to carry. Step 3, find your tribe. There are others in this world like you, those who see the unseen, feel the unspoken, hear the silence between words. How will you recognize them? By their eyes. There's a particular depth there, a kind of tiredness that only those who feel too much ever know. And yet, behind that tiredness, a small, stubborn light. A light that pain couldn't quite extinguish. When you meet them, you won't need many words. Just a small glance, and a strange inner recognition rises. You too? You're not alone. You never were. You just hadn't found the ones who can hear you yet. Step 4, turn your sensitivity into a craft. You carry deep sensitivity, sharp intuition, a radar for what others miss, and you're not using it. Isn't that a kind of waste? You could be a therapist, a coach, a counselor, a writer, an artist, a teacher, a guide. Professionalism is your armor. A therapist doesn't take every client's pain home. A guide learns where to draw the line between helping and disappearing. Your sensitivity is not just being fragile, it's a tool. If you carry it barehanded, it burns you. When you place it into a container, a craft, a skill, a profession, it can light someone else's darkness without consuming you. Step 5. Forgive. This is the heaviest door. First, forgive yourself for feeling too much, for seeing too much, for the days you just couldn't take it anymore. Then forgive others for not seeing, for not understanding, for not being able to hold all that you are. And finally, forgive life itself for giving you this weight, for choosing you to walk this road. When you forgive, you'll notice something. You're lighter. Those invisible stones you've been carrying on your shoulders for years start falling away, one by one. Now for the quietest and perhaps most shaking truth. This ability of yours to see, to sense, to feel so deeply is not going to leave. It's not a phase. It's part of your design. Some days it will whisper like a curse. I wish I were blind. But some days you'll see how a single sentence, a single look, a single moment of true presence saved someone's soul from collapsing. And you'll think, this is why I'm here. Let me leave you with a small story. An old sage had spent his whole life seeing, hearing, carrying the pain of others. On his deathbed, they asked him, "Do you have any regrets?" He smiled and said, "No. While I lived, the world lived with me. When I cried, the heart of the universe softened. I was never alone. None of us ever are. You are a bridge between visible and invisible, between conscious and unconscious, between the sleeping and the waking. Bridges look lonely, standing between two lands, but they're the only reason those two worlds ever meet. Now it's time to choose, run away or keep seeing. Whatever you choose, remember this. In a way, the choice has already been made. You're already on this path. You already see, you already feel, and most importantly, you already exist. The world is waiting for you. Are you ready?